welcome back to the podcast. We are back and talking about Northern Kingdoms on Sunday, and I'm back
Woo.
with Mary.
Hello.
I feel like you should stick around more. You need to come to more LARPs because I've really enjoyed talking to you.
Oh, thank you. I would love to, honestly, as soon as like my work schedule permits, because I have a really weird work schedule. I would love to come to more because I only do NK now, so I want to try more
Yeah.
LARPs. I would
Yes.
absolutely love to.
My God, I will kidnap you and take you on all of them. It's going to be great.
Please.
Um, so Sunday. This is going to
Sunday.
be a very Caltane centric Sunday, because I didn't do playing on Sunday. I did crewing. So we touched on it briefly at the end of last episode, but Saturday was a very emotional night for both of us. And I woke up in the morning and I was like, I don't really want to touch Malorith today. And I think story wise, it makes sense that she isn't around. So I'm going to just leave her alone and I'm going to crew. So we'll talk about that later. But what happened on your Sunday, Caltade?
So, Caltane's Sunday. She woke up, the birds were chirping, her brother's still dead.
Woof.
And she's still a knight.
Oof.
What a
But
morning.
still alive. Still
But
alive,
still
though. That's good.
alive for now. And you're obviously like icy as well. We were gonna have like a big fight in some
Yeah.
capacity. So Sunday morning was spent sort of. I had a few people coming in like checking in after like we're so sorry we heard about that your brother was like lost in like the fight for the keep in the north, and I was like thank you. And a lot of like fuck Nilfgaard and like yeah fuck Nilfgaard. And it was a really odd one because like equally she was kind of at peace with it in like okay he's gone, there's nothing I can do but like fight for this and keep going. And also I'm a knight now, and that's kind of a new problem because again this wasn't really an accolade, this was a right I'm watching you. And so she was kind of like, it's been a while since she's had like a new problem, which sounds really weird, but like she's always been like, oh, I've got this source power that's a bit of an interesting one. Like she's been training it for decades. Like she's older than she looks. Don't ask me exactly why. Like how old Paige and I got the maths wrong, and we don't actually know either of our ages, so it changes every time you
God.
ask. But like. So it's quite fun, like, being able to play that as, like... Because I honestly thought, going to this event, that I might retire Caltaine after this event. Because I was like, I can see this being potentially, like, where however it ends, like, a really nice end to her story, basically.
Yeah.
Because, like, if it was that she was going to get super punished, or even that she was, like, killed, or... Because I knew they wouldn't just outright kill me, but, like, if she died doing something that they'd, like, put in place. But now, like... I'm a knight. That's really cool. That's a really fun thing to play with, and like the loyalty split. And is she at all loyal to like her country? Actually, like I'm really looking forward to playing with it. So Sunday was a lot of like thinking and mulling about that, and it started off wonderfully, and it was such a nice like break from like. I enjoy a bit of emotional trauma. I enjoy a lot of emotional. It's great. I have fun. Like love it in D&D. Love it at LARP. It's great. But the Saturday night was just heavy because like it was like all of like my personal plot over like the last couple of events like coming to a head, and it was wonderful. I couldn't have asked for better. But yeah, like a little break was nice, and that break came in the form of Tulip and Declan's wedding, which I had been asked to officiate as provost, and I was honoured. It was great. So we got some flowers from God, and we decorated this little this structure we had. It was great. It was a great sight. It meant that everyone could like be out all night. It was great. It was a proper like covered, not a stable. What's it called? Like a
the little barn thing.
Yeah, like a little like open air barn. It was great.
Yeah.
And yeah, we had the bar in there, and it was wonderful. And we just had tons. Everyone had like enough seating. It was great because I think that's the thing that's got us a couple of events in a row now, is like seating has been like a little more limited. And like obviously people bring their own and stuff, but like having like a set thing there was just so handy. And yeah, we set it up for a wedding.
Aww.
And we had Songbird on his flute.
Honestly,
And
that
Wonder.
that
It
boy's
was so
that boy's
good.
musical passions. Ugh,
Honestly, just oily, fantastic to argue
incredible
with.
human
I
being.
bloody love Songbird. And yeah, we had Wonder take Tulip down the aisle. And I was like, right, we need something from the swear on, so we borrowed a copy of the what's it called? I can't remember the exact title, and they're gonna flame me for it, but like the logistics of war or something, the art of warfare that we have.
Oh yeah,
That was
yeah.
written by like a fair few Free Company members, and so we had them like put their hands on that, and the goal was, I discussed it with Gareth and Quinn. And I was like, look, the vibe I'm going to go for is Barbosa on the ship in Pirates of the Caribbean, when it's like, right, you're both here, you're both alive, cool, you're married, we're done. But like in a nice way, because that's more Caltaine style. And
So good.
it was so lovely. And like I said, I get quite bad stage fright, and that's something I find really magical about Northern Kingdoms, is I don't feel stage fright once I've started.
Aww.
And so
Yeah.
like standing up in front of a room full of people, making a speech at a fake wedding, like doing that, making them do their vows, so like usually that should have, I'd been like I think not.
Yeah.
But like everyone there is just so supportive and lovely, and no one cares if you fluff up words or like everyone's just there, and like you're also so in it, you're like, it doesn't matter if I make mistakes, we're all just here to have fun. Like it's fantastic, it's such a lovely wholesome atmosphere.
Yeah.
And honestly, like I cannot commend like the player base and the crew enough for like just this like atmosphere of, it's just quite relaxed as well, like it's lovely. So we did that and it was fantastic. And we got to say some vows to each other, that was great. And Scott,
I'm
who
so
plays
mad.
Sianak,
Yeah.
we got photos.
Yeah.
He recently got married himself and did like a hand fasting ceremony, and so like knew how to do it.
Yeah.
And so he came over and like did the hand fast for them.
Adorable.
And that's just really sweet, because he's like kept the knot that they made and was like wearing it on his belt. And yeah, it was quick but beautiful and just really lovely.
Nice. Yeah.
And we got the whole camp came like and piled in, and it was just really, really bloody lovely. And then we were like, right, time to go fight a war, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Like honeymoon will have to wait. Off we go. And yeah, we had maybe like 20 odd minutes. And then we were told that there was a group of mages preparing for like this final fight, and basically we need to go, if we can go and take out as many of these mages as we can, it'll really help us in like this final battle that we're doing. And this final battle is being done basically, to my knowledge, because of the numbers, off screen, but it's the one we've been working towards with all our little like missions across the weekend and our like uptime combat and stuff. And basically what's going to be different about these events is the downtime for this one isn't the usual 2 weeks, it's literally 24 hours. And so this event ended on the eve of battle, and the next event is going to take place like 3 days after, but our downtime is only like 24 hours after, I think.
Yeah. So
could be completely wrong, but I think that's the vibe.
No, so I think there's 24 hours in between this event and next event story wise.
Oh, it is 24 hours. Okay.
Yeah, so I think it's the case where the battle starts almost as soon as we time out from the Sunday.
Oh, okay.
And then
Where did I get the 3 days from?
Well, I mean, you could be right. This is what so
No, I
either
think
one
it
of
is
us is right, neither
24.
of us is right. Yeah. So, and then the
One
next
tells
event
only
is
truths and the other lies.
yeah, exactly. I always tell the truth. But yeah, so there was a lot riding on this
Yeah, huge
mission
amount.
as well.
Um,
Um,
because it was like the
it
more
was
mages we can get out now, the more likelihood we are
yeah.
of living. Um,
Yeah, it was quite a cool because obviously I missed Tulip's wedding, so I wrote her a letter as Mal to be like,
oh,
sorry, gross. I know, disgusting, horrible. But it was also really interesting looking at it from a ref point of view because I was going in as the third trauma ref. So I was with Chris and Alex, and we were getting the briefing from the crew side of things. And it was really interesting just watching how they laid out the battle, but also being in the player camp as not a player, watching how the players prepped for battle. It was so cool.
interesting.
Um, yeah, because especially how Adam got everybody together and did like their big briefing as well was really cool. And kind of like prepping everybody and doing that kind of like the King Theoden speech for the Lord of
Yeah,
the Rings is what I felt like. It was really cool. Um, yeah, the battle was fun though.
I think that was one of the hardest battles I've ever done at NK,
Yeah,
and I I had so much fun. Bloody hell, that was a tough fight. Um,
yeah,
it was weird because I wasn't. Because obviously, usually our Sunday battles are like, the big battle of the weekend. Like, it's usually like. But obviously, the bridge fight was so big as well. And this had kind of been
yeah,
described as almost like a smaller mission that I was like, maybe it's not going to be like as catastrophic as usual. Oh, God.
mm, yeah,
Um, because I didn't know if it was. I got a bit confused. Just both, just OC. I wasn't sure if we were doing this as like a little mission and then we were doing a big fight after, or
I
if this
see.
was the big fight. So I had no idea what
Yeah,
was going on the entire time. I was just there to fight. I picked up my halberd and I stabbed it at people and sawing it
yeah.
around. Um,
It was great. I loved
it
watching
was
you guys fight.
so fun. Like, yeah, being because obviously with a halberd, it's pretty front line.
Yeah,
Um, I'll be switching to sword and shield hopefully for the next one.
yeah,
Just because I think I'm probably a more confident fighter with those, and also I figure I can really play into the knight thing if I get a shield with the Sidari crest
oh
on
my
it.
God, yes.
Just
It would be
rock
so
up like
good.
but I'm gonna try and make like a Sidaran Free Company cross.
Oh,
Um,
yes.
so that's the goal.
That'd be
But
good.
that's if she lives because the battle didn't quite go as planned.
No, it didn't.
Um,
But if I talk about
yeah,
how we set it up as crew,
please,
and then we
please.
can
I
talk
want to
about how
know.
it ran. So hilariously, um, Chris, trauma ref, and all of the game runners are absolute. They are geniuses in the fact that they know how to torture their players. So
Yup.
yep. So they set up the battle and said the players are going to take the longest route around to get to the battlefield. So you guys had to walk all the way out of camp along along a downhill along the thing as far away from basically the site as you could get to then come back on yourselves to come to the battle. So they wanted you guys tired before you even
Yeah,
got there.
horrendous. I wondered
Yeah,
why we went that far.
yeah. So they wanted you tired before they got there. Then the whole premise of the battle was, as you said, you were interrupting mages as they were drawing power from the ground and from their sources. So we, the way watching Chris and Alex and all of the guys work was so cool because Chris split up all the crew. We had Tom and Claire as our juggernauts. So Tom was wearing full armor. Oh, I think we had Jess in full plate as
Yes, yeah,
well.
there were three juggernauts.
Yeah, so they were all off in the background, waiting for a cue. we then had two separate groups of Nilfgaardians. Um, and again, the branching roads really helped us from a crew perspective because we could then queue separate points of attack. Um, so we were there and we had this really cool thing, and there were two groups. They all had queues. The starting scene was going to be a mage drawing power with an archer, just as a protective measure, because they weren't expecting the free company to turn up. What I also had in my pack was a huge amount of poison gas and fire smoke bombs.
Yeah.
Because we had fire mages.
There were so many smoke. Like, I saw, it was
Yeah.
blue smoke I saw for the first time, which was dimeritium smoke, which
Yeah.
was a problem we'll come on to later.
Yeah, they had dimeritium bombs as well. It was boof. It was powerful. Um, and we were getting a brief, and we were like, given the player numbers that are coming out on this encounter, this is going to be a very hard fight for them. Make it cinematic, make it fun. Don't actively go out and kill them in the first wave. So it was really interesting seeing the other side of it. So yeah, that was it all set up. The die was cast. And
So
how
is this
did
the first time you'd crewed?
for Northern Kingdoms, yeah. But I
Yeah.
also do I think I was really thankful for Alex and Chris on that day because I was so tired and everything from the night before that I was a bit of a mess, and they were like, "Okay, well you're familiar with this. So we'll give you a radio because you work with radios. So you're going to have a radio. We're going to give you all of these smoke bombs. You can stick with one of us. We'll give you a stack." And I say a stack. It was about 15 centimeters deep of trauma cards. So and they were like, you see people go into the smoke, you give them these. You see people get hit with arrows, you give them these. And it was like spoon feeding a toddler, but
Bless
it
you.
was a way that kind of like brought me back, and it was so fun. It was so cool. Um, but yeah, tell me how you started the battle.
So I started the battle pretty near the front, and immediately, like, I'm engaged with people on. Again, I don't know if it was like a little bridge, but like there was a path, or like there was a narrow pathway that like had,
Yeah, there was definitely
like
a
there was,
bridge.
yeah, to the right, and oh my god, there was just so many people coming at us from all sorts of directions. And it was sort of like we were fighting in like a circle, basically. Of like, there were archers on the front up the hill, there were juggernauts coming from the left, and to the right of us there was just these waves and waves. And it was just constant. And the juggernauts at one point got over to the right hand side, and I got absolutely decked by one. And then I got shot at the same time, and I got like, I was absolutely fine, but I got like grazed across my nose by, I think, like a two-hander. I don't even know where it came from.
Oh my god.
And Richie, bless, was like, "You all right?" And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And I what did I get given? Like, basically it was just wave after wave, and like I'd been fighting, I'd activated my source power a couple of times, like I'd negated a couple of hits, but I was like I think
It was a lot.
because of the blue smoke, the dimeritium smoke, I didn't know how actually, like, I knew for the mages it basically, because Paige was telling me like they could only open portals at one point, or like they could only be instructed, do what they were instructed to do. Like, they were basically just like, they'd gone all giggly and crazy, and like the mages couldn't do anything. So we lost a ton of our firepower. And more importantly, we lost a ton of people who deal with our arrow, like the archer problems in fights. They had mages that were calling down literal hellfire on us.
Yeah.
And
Which was great fun from my perspective.
it was there was a point where I was in like 3 different types of smoke, and I was like, I don't actually know what these colours are. Hang on, let me just quickly check. It's like, right, okay, we're in fire, we're in poison, we're in. So I played it as because I didn't know how it would affect a source, but I knew Dimeritium was not good for me. So I basically played it as like coming out of my battle trance, like off and on. So I got hit more basically than I would have. And then eventually when I'd just conked out enough, I got a couple of trauma cards handed to me by Richie, and I walked over to where the healers were, like dragged myself over, and this is where it all kicked off with a capital K, capital O. Yeah. So, because the mage is like holding like a ward, and then obviously they're going a bit mad because of the Dimeritium, so they drop it, and I lie on the floor, and a ref comes over to me and just goes, no, and she looked like my erstwhile friend Mal, and with these cards I didn't even bother reading the second one because the first one was like, your endurance drops, so I was like, well, that's all I had left.
Oh no.
So I immediately am in bleed out.
Yeah. With this, so for context, I didn't just do it because you're Keltane. I also
I did get battered. I got absolutely battered.
Yeah. I was watching. So it's fascinating being invisible in a LARP fight because we also, as the fire smokers, we'd been told that we had a fire mage, and that as soon as the first wave of Nilfgaardians go, the fire mage is going to set a fireball in between the healers and the fighters to cut off the healers and the non-coms. So I was ready. I was watching like a hawk, and I was like, this is great. And I see the crew member who's doing the fire mage. It's like, I call down hellfire from the sky. And like, I was just there like, yes, excellent. And me and Richie, like, I think it was me and Alex or me and Richie, I don't know at this point, as if on cue, synchronized, pulled our fire bombs and were like dancing around the crowd. Like, it was so much fun. And then the fire smoke grenade runs out. And I turn, and that's when I see you getting absolutely pulverized.
Genuinely, like there were things coming from all angles. Like I was getting shot, I was getting stabbed, I was getting thwacked. Like I was literally like, if I hadn't been handed a trauma card, I would have just walked over and started bleeding out anyway. Like I lost count. I was like, no, I'm definitely down.
But then the healer brought you back through poisoned smoke, or whoever it was that was dragging you back. So that was the poison card that I gave you. But it was but it was relentless.
The fight it somehow still gets worse. Because we're on wave like 4.
Yeah.
And everyone is running low, and I start my bleed out. I'm on the floor with the fantastic Georgia. Dr. Lydia is one of my favourite characters, like, in all the Kingdoms. Like, she is so cool. Her power is like she's a source as well, and she can she memorizes anything she reads, and it's really cool. Like the photographic memory, so it's fantastic. It's really fun to play with, and we joke because like she's the only doctor there with like an actual medical license. And
the Kedweni medical schools are very, very reputable. I don't know what you're talking about.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
No, she's wonderful. She joined last event, fellow Sadaran, so we we're bonding, and she is trying to bring me back from my bleed out, and this is where it all started going wrong, because from the left come not 1, not 2, but 3 juggernauts into where all the healers are and the very wounded. And they just start swinging. And Dr. Lydia, like, shields Caltaine with her body. And it's like, don't worry, Caltaine, I've got you. They're not going to hurt you. Like, I've got you. I'm here. I'm not going to leave you.
Oh.
And I start crying. Like, I'm on the floor, like, weeping. And I, like, crack an eye open, and I'm like, I wish I hadn't, because Tom's there as a juggernaut, like, swinging. I'm like,
oh my god,
no,
it was
this is
so
horrifying.
funny.
And at this point, like, Aidan, played by Kuba, he comes over, and another fellow source, Volcano, sort of fantastic powers. He's got his smoke machines. Yeah. He comes over because he's like, I'm not letting, like, Caltaine's down, Lydia's protecting her, like, I'm not letting them get her. So he runs in, starts getting battered. And he God. Like, starts blowing up as, like, the volcano source. Cordinia, Sophie comes over, and starts, because she's got daggers, so she's one of the few people who can, like, get the juggernauts, because you can only get them with crossbows and daggers.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much effect magic has, but also all the mages were out of action because of the magic metal. Yeah. So she starts going, and then she gets knocked down, and at this point, May, another source, runs over, like, zigzagging with them. We've made a joke, 'cause we both use pole arms, or, like, just to keep the feelings away as sources. So we're little with the source squad to keep the feelings at bay. And she, like, runs over to try help us. And, like, she's on the floor pretty much immediately to my right, and, like, I, like, reach out a hand to her, and I'm, like, holding her hand on the ground as we're all being, like, absolutely battered. Like, Aidan's on top, like, by Lydia, and Sophie, like, Cordinia's on the floor, and, like, the five of us are just, like, we are completely cut off at this point, and we just hear, like, we need to get out now. I think it was Sian, I think it was Scott and like, Skeld.
Yeah.
Who's another one of our, like, sort of on-field commanders, being like, right, we've got to go. And they portal out.
Oh, God.
And the five of us, I'm still on bleed out. And all of the Nilfgaardian soldiers come over to us, and are like, we've got you. And they start healing us because they're taking us as prisoners of war. And once they'd healed us and we started, like, getting a little bit mouthy, they stabbed a couple of them again, and I got to have one of the coolest moments I think I'll ever have at LARP ever, and I felt, like, just sick, and I'm so grateful to have had this moment where I was like, okay, what would I do here? And I just screamed at them, like, I am the provost of this free company, and you will not touch my men. And this led to one of their mages, like, taking the air out of my lungs.
Oh my God, it was so good.
And, like, it was so fun. I had such a good time. Like, it was so fun to RP, and, like, these mages are, like, jeering at us, and the soldiers are all, like laughing. And then, because we got a bit gobby, a couple of us got tied up. So we're there completely miserable. But we're all, like, because we've got 4 sources, Cordinia, 3 Sidarans, and we are told that we have been captured by Nilfgaard on the eve of battle. So yeah, that's 4 sources. Are still just about provost. Well, like, it's re-elections next time, but and yeah, we've got a mad amalgamation of powers in that group.
Yeah, and thank goodness that you left your really important notebook filled with information behind, right? You did that, right, Mary? Because, you know, it's got all of the military maneuvers and all of the information in it.
You see, Millie, again, the thing about writing a military officer versus the playing of a military officer is that sometimes those notes were also for Meredith. And Meredith, unfortunately, did not think that she would be being taken as a prisoner of war at the 11th hour of the event.
Oh.
And getting to the crew room where
Chris
went, yes, tell us what's in your bags, by the way, because, you know, we'll loot you. And we were like, yeah, okay, thanks for taking us back, guys. We got water, it was great. We're like, hey, maybe this isn't so bad after all.
Mm-hmm.
And when I opened my bag and saw the book, I immediately well up. I am
No.
like, oh my God, what have I done? And like, I just went, guys, you know what you've got? And I'm like, tears like pulling out of my eyes, and I'm just like, the Provost's book. And I like lift it up, and they all just have this moment of silence, and the whole crew room just erupts like, yeah. And Abigail's like, no, you didn't. And Chris is like, you didn't. And Ruth is like, no. And yeah, and they also have the letter I wrote to my brother naming all my family members.
Oh God.
Which Chris has asked for a copy of, and I'm like, oh, fantastic, thanks for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, they've got the Provost book with all of our hidden troops, our military numbers, our maneuvers, our current role. One of them just says, we're special ops at the top.
God.
Now, luckily, the saving grace of this is that the battle is already like underway. So
Yeah.
because there was so much discourse. Like, don't get me wrong. So for a second, I was like, oh crap. Like OC, I was like, we've worked so hard all weekend, and have I just like ruined it basically?
Yeah.
But then once I'd like calmed down a second, I was like, this is such a good game. I could not have asked for game this good, actually, of like the drama of it. And ditto, like a couple of members of the crew came up and were like, no, this is such a good game. Like, you couldn't have written. I was like, okay, thanks.
No, honestly, like perfect game. So good.
It's so good. I'm really happy it happened, because I'm like, I couldn't have written it really. Or you can actually, in my case, really clearly and well in a book, and then give it to the enemy. But there was a lot of we got to go back to camp because they decided they weren't going to do a rescue mission. So we were scried on by Ceresa.
Yeah.
And they've said that they see, because this was the other thing, they said you see 5 people and 1 body, because in this fight, right in front of us as the sources were being captured, just a bit before, Paul Vigo.
Oh yeah, Vigo
was executed. In front of us. It was an epic way to go.
So good.
But he as well, like, he was Provost like a few events ago, and he basically acted as like Caltain's like right hand as well, like through her being Provost. And like as a character, she's gonna feel that loss, and as a player, I'm gonna feel that like Vigo. What a character. So sad. And we got given the option to use fate, but we also didn't know what was going to happen to us. And so basically, Paul and us, like, we flipped a coin, and the coin flip was not favourable. It
was such a cool thing though, because I witnessed him basically. He snorted a buttload of Fizztech, and then ran after 3 juggernauts, and I was like,
that's sick. What a way to go! I didn't know that.
That is such a good, like, what a death.
That's classic Vigo.
Yeah, so good. It's so good.
Yeah, it was.
It's player death on the player's terms, which is so... Well, not player death, but character death on the player's terms, which is like...
Yeah.
Again, it's something that the crew really lean into at NK, and it's so good.
It was... I
so
like
good.
as well, like... I haven't had to use... I'm keeping my fate, because I really think we're going to need it next. Like, I thought I was going to have to use it this event, because I thought I was going to be court-martialed at this point.
Yeah.
So I'm holding on to it. We all got a fate coin for our performances. The little captured
Nice.
puddle
Yeah,
at
yeah,
the
yeah.
end, which was really fun because I think like everyone was just like on their top game for that. Like it was so fun to play with like my fellow captives. Oh,
Yeah.
it's so I'm so tired. Fellow captives. It was just so fun to play with them. And yeah, so they know they know we've been taken to a Nilfgaard camp, like 22,000 tents strong, and we've basically been told we're going to be tortured. And I'm like, sick, bring it
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
And we went into camp and like I told because like we went back in because we were told, yeah, they're not going to rescue you. And so we all walked back into camp. We walked back into camp. Usually,
Oh
like
yeah.
the thing is like, oh, you hold a finger in the air when like you're coming back into camp. You're invisible. So we all held our middle fingers in the air because we were like,
It
right,
was so
all
good.
right,
So
leave us to
good.
rot then. Which honestly, I'm so glad because that's going to be such a fun game next event. But we all just like lurked about, and it was really fun because I got to watch the dawning realization from because it was still time in. That Caltain's book had been lost.
Yeah.
Because like Quinn ran over to me, like she was like, right, I'm going through your things. I see. Do I find your book? And I just go, nope, because I can't remember who raised the issue. Gosh, I wish I could remember. I was told because I wasn't there when it happened, but one of the players was like, doesn't the provost keep a book on her? Like, would she have taken notes? And one was like, yes, she would have. She takes meticulous notes. And everyone was like, find the book. And they did not find
Oh
the book.
my God. Wow.
And so like because I really thought like that it would take till next event for them to go, oh God. But like no, someone, I think it might have been one of the new players actually. I think might have been Conrad who plays. I could be completely wrong here, but this is what's going at my memory. He plays a Nilfgaardian deserter. And
Yeah.
I think, which would be really cool. I think if it was him, because it would make sense that he was like thinking like a Nilfgaardian. But yeah, and like the dawning realization. And I just heard for the second time across the weekend, Wanda just go, that dumb bitch.
I know. Oh my God. I love it so much.
Which was so fun. And yeah, I'm really excited to see what happens because there was a lot of discourse about this book once it got through the camp, and like on the Discord afterwards, everyone like, right, we've got to have a plan. And yeah, I'm so excited for the game it's going to bring. I'm really excited to see what myself and my fellow captives get up to, because in our downtime we're basically all going to get a choice of like what we do in the battle. I think they're writing potentially like a set like few things we can choose to do. So I'm intrigued to see what our options are.
I think it's going to be really interesting.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see how they run it. It's
Yeah,
going to be
same.
so good.
I can't, and it's such a treat as well because this is the first year where I've had 2 Northern Kingdoms events.
Yeah.
Because I started the second event in 2023, and then obviously last year, because Ruth and Simon got married, there was only the one. You know, still understandable.
Yep.
But yeah, it's going to
We'll
feel like
never
such a
forgive you.
treat. Yeah,
Yeah.
never. But it's going to feel like such a treat.
Yeah. I think I have a lot that I need to process and think about before the next Northern Kingdoms event. Luckily, I'm going away for 3 months to a different
Yes,
country
you're
where
on
I'm not
your
even going to be able to
adventures.
LARP. So I think it's
God.
going to be interesting. There was a lot going in my head I think as well, being exhausted from work and not and having a lot of OC stuff going on that weekend anyway. There was a lot going on within various different friendship groups that have nothing to do with the LARP at all. But it definitely it was very interesting, and this is entirely in hindsight, and I've learned so much about RP etiquette and everything from this weekend. And especially when it comes to me and my actions, and also processing emotions. Like you never realize how much you have in you repressed or whatever else, or how you deal with various different things until you blow up. And I think that this Northern Kingdoms as well, but also like in hindsight, looking back at how I've played Mal and how Mal is as a character, it is very interesting being the inflammatory person and being the kind of person that gets angry all the time and the effects that that has on you. So I was talking in the Discord about how I might retire Mal
Oh,
and
really?
come back. Yeah, I might come back with a new character, but I don't know because I love her so much. Like she's got a lot of work that needs to happen. And I think it would be interesting to explore that, but it's whether or not me as Millie feels confident and comfortable enough to do that. Because I think that
Okay.
it also involves a lot of inward thinking and a lot of inward processing. And I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
no.
I
Still
think it
cheaper than
takes.
therapy, though.
It's an interesting one because similarly, like I I know like I only really play. Well, I've played like angry D&D characters in the past, but LARP is such a different kettle of fish in that you are them,
Yeah.
and like I think playing quite a rational and measured character serves me quite well at LARP because when I'm like
Mm.
in my it means my moments of like pure drama where like my in character brother's died and I've now got to go on like a just got to scream because like they're so it means I can like concentrate those really emotional moments and like throw myself into them, but then I kind of only have like one or two of those moments an event, and
Yeah.
like never to like I doubt I'll ever have something to this scale yet, unless like Wanda or Mild or like someone I'm close to in game died. I think I've did my peak this weekend of like emotional
Mm.
exertion for myself, so I can't really imagine like having to sort of be like on emotionally all the time during lock because it's already such an odd experience in terms of
Yeah.
that blur of like okay my character versus me. So like if you're having to sort of be like in an angry headspace all the time, I imagine that's exhausting.
Is it like it really hit me this event? It really did. Um, and I think it's like I said, it's going to take a lot of processing, a lot of thinking. I don't. I really think that where I left Mal is not a great finish for her. Like I feel like I need to do something.
I'd still
Um,
like to see her back for sure, but you've got time to think about it.
yeah, it would be interesting. I'm going to overhaul her kit anyway, and then
Nice.
if I do decide I don't like it, then I can be like, excellent. There's a Kedwenny with the same color scheme coming in.
Yeah,
It's all
sorted.
fine.
It's
Um,
you've got time, and also if you did suddenly want to like overhaul, that's the best like part about NK I think in terms of like the way you can email and just like talk to like the team and be
yeah,
like, hey, I kind of want to try. Like, I'm gonna email and be like, hey, I don't want to use a halberd anymore. Can I switch all my skill points around because I feel better playing? And like, I know they'll be like, yeah, because their priority is that people are having fun. And if you message them going, hey, I'm not sure, like I like what Mal's doing at the moment, X Y Z, can I try
yeah.
this? Like, you know that their whole
I'm
priority is always our game,
yeah.
which is just
I
so
think
lovely.
I think my main priority as well is going to switch out my character ability because I love when I for anyone who hasn't
When you
listened to
what,
the
Mal?
NK episodes, well, honestly, so for anyone that hasn't listened to the episodes before, Mal's special ability is hallucinogenic or laxatives. And I love it as a power. However, it proves only useful when it's PvP. And I have, since doing Menhirs and doing the whole PvE element, I have found that I am much more comfortable with antagonistic roleplay when I know it's to an NPC and I know it's to somebody who is briefed and able to take it. And not saying that players can't take it, but I, for my mental well-being, I
Yeah.
don't like feeling like my RP has had any kind of effect on anyone. Um, so having that PvP element as a special power and the thing that makes me special, I found out it just makes me inherently uncomfortable.
This is
And
the
I'm
thing. You don't know
Yeah,
till
you
you
don't
till you've
know.
done it
You
a
don't
couple of
know until
times,
you
and
do
you're
it,
like,
right?
okay,
Yeah. So I think I'm excited. I wanna talk to the guys. I want to see what we can do, and I want to be like, hey, can I do this? And worst case, they go no, and I go excellent, cool. I'm gonna re-roll, and then who knows
who
what kind
knows?
of Kedwenny chaos bringer could come into camp. But I'm so
Fantastic.
excited for November. It's gonna be so good.
I bring it on. Honestly, I couldn't have asked for like a better cliffhanger for just in general, but also I think it's going to be incredibly hard to ever top this event for me personally. I
Yeah.
just they like the crew and the writers just made like I felt so special and like having like that like character arc moment was just everything I could have wanted, and
Yeah.
ending it the way
But
it did, where it's like I'm Knight of the Realm being kidnapped by Nilfgaardian forces,
yeah.
and I, yeah, I am
It's
so
a
excited for November, and I'm so thrilled with how it all went. I couldn't have asked for better.
yeah. I think it's a real credit to you and your ability to RP as well. Like
Oh, thank
you're
you.
such I don't, yeah, yes, you're about to take many compliments. Like
Oh
your
no.
ability to be, I know, get ready, buckle in,
Oh.
buttercup.
Uh.
Um it's okay, you're captured by Nilfgaardians. You have to take this. So oh my good dear listeners, they are visibly uncomfortable right now. um
I'm not good at yeah.
yeah,
Compliment.
nobody is. But it's, I think, because you're such a yes and person, and because you take everything in your stride, and because you have had that opportunity to grow and develop your RP skills within that LARP community, you are honestly such a joy to roleplay with.
Oh, thank you.
And it's okay, it's all good. I mean it. And if anybody ever repeats what I say, I will crush them like a bug. So I've got a reputation to uphold. But yeah, I think it's the reason why people give you such good game is because you give it back and then some. Like you create
Oh, thank you.
this incredibly safe community and group around you where they feel comfortable and anybody coming up to you feels comfortable and welcome. Um, so yeah,
That's a really lovely thing to say. Thank you. I honestly like I was always gonna, even without the sort of I see thing of like, oh, she's a knight, oh, she's lost the book. I was always planning to step down as provost next event because
mm,
I, without sounding super twee, I really love knowing that my games given other people game, because that's just it
yeah,
makes it more fun for me. So like I've had
yeah,
such an incredible game as provost, and I really want to make sure that someone else gets that because it's a really cool thing to do. Um, and I think everyone should have a turn if they want it. And I've had my turn, and I couldn't have asked for a better time or a better setting because what how could I have asked for, like, I didn't know we were going to Sedaris, and the fact that becoming provost meant that I got called out by the king himself, like I couldn't have asked for that, and that is just wonderful. And I I am really pleased that my if a bit of my RP can contribute to someone else's game, then I am incredibly happy. So thank you very
good.
much for saying. It's very kind.
That's okay. And now to end this lovely and sentimental thing by thanking our incredible Patreons.
Yay!
Yay! What's that? Distracting with corporate bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
But it's our Patreons are way more than corporate bullshit. It's all amazing. Thank you so much to everyone who interacts with the podcast on Facebook, on Discord, by listening to any of the various different streaming services that we are on. You're all amazing. You all hopefully enjoy the episodes. If not, let us know. Let us know how we can improve it. But in particular, thank you so much to our Patreons. You guys help keep the lights on, and you help keep me annoying Mary for, we've been recording now for, oh God, it's
5 hours.
5 hours. Jesus. That's going to be nice, isn't it?
It's
So five
fine.
hours of various different things. So thank you so
I
much.
had
You
so
keep
much
the
fun.
lights on. It's good. You're welcome back anytime.
Oh, thanks.
We'll 10 out of 10. We'll talk about emotional RP again.
Beautiful.
Um, And in particular, thank you so much to Reese, who is our wonderful, wonderful Draxos of Sintra. You're incredible. I love you all. And this is my last episode for a little bit. Bung will be taking the reins for Empire content while I'm away. Don't break it. Don't leave it. Mary, you're welcome to come back and do episodes. I'll leave it all in everybody's capable hands. So yes, I will be gone for a little bit, but I will be back in August with more content to follow. Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much for coming on, Mary. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I've had such a fun time, and I will
Best
chat
5
Northern
hours
Kings with you anytime. Best 5 hours ever.
Yeah. Right. I love you all. Love you, Mary.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.